Good evening, baby girl. Happy Thursday. I hope you had an incredible day because I surely did. I want to come to you real brief and talk to you about what God gave me on yesterday. And I kind of dug into it a little bit more today. And I thought it was really interesting because we don't talk about this enough. And that's the fact that opportunities and offerings have expiration dates. There are some opportunities and offerings that have expiration dates. Now, I didn't talk about blessings and all the other good stuff because, that's kind of tricky. You have to get really detailed when we talk about that. But I can tell you that some opportunities and offerings have an expiration date. Um, so I, as a um, HR staffing, would offer people jobs, you know, jobs that they applied to, um, jobs that they met the qualification, and I would just call them to let them know that there's something available. And I would offer people what they didn't have. And so I gave them an opportunity to get what they were looking for and apply. And they would apply, and then I would offer them the job, and then they get nervous. And how long do I have to think about it? And it's like, what's there to think about? You asked for it. And people would, one, be afraid to accept the job and wouldn't take it out of fear. Uh, some would wait too long and I wouldn't hear back from them, and I move on to the next, and then they call back a couple of weeks later and, well, the position has been taken. I didn't hear back from you. I called, left messages, I emailed, and no response. And I took it as you didn't want it. There was an expiration date on it. Um, I also look at it like this. I went and bought a car. And when I applied to get pre-approved for the pre-approval, I didn't know had an expiration date. But they pre-approved me for an amount and they gave me an offer. Like, here's what we can do. And if you want to take what we're offering, you know, go ahead, look for the vehicle, give us a call, and we'll go through the process. But I waited too late. And by the time I was ready to move on the vehicle, the offer had expired to where I had to reapply. And thank God they offered me the same amount, but it was the whole point of there was an expiration date. And I didn't move on it quick enough because I wasn't ready. I wasn't sure. And it was just so, it's a big deal. And well, I could have lost out on a great opportunity, on a great offer, had I, you know, not had the ability to reapply. You know what I mean? Because sometimes when God gives you an opportunity, that opportunity may not come back around. And if it does, it may take a long time for it to come back around. When there's, an offer on the table, and you don't act on that offer because I'm not sure, I need time, and it's not about I need to really go pray about it or anything. It's just that you're not prepared, or you're afraid, or you're trying to see what other people think and compare and contrast and all kind of stuff, and because you're not ready. the offer is no longer on the table. And they don't have to tell you that the offer doesn't exist anymore. They don't have to tell you the opportunity had passed. And if you don't tell me today, I'm going to move on. They don't have to tell you that. And much to my surprise with my offer letter, well, it had an expiration date. And I didn't read the fine print. And when I was ready to use that pre-approval letter, much to my dismay, it was expired. So I don't want this to be an issue moving forward in the days and the weeks and the months to come, that we miss opportunities and offerings because we're just not ready. We're just not sure. We're walking in fear and we miss something that could have been, should have been, would have been ours had we been ready, willing, prepared, and sure about it. And in this season, we need all those things to walk in these opportunities, to walk in what is being offered to us, because there really is an expiration date on some of these opportunities and blessings and offerings. Ecclesiastes 3, the very first verse, says it all. It says, to everything there is a season, right? And it also says, and a time to every purpose under the heaven. So that means there's an expiration date to almost everything, even us, our lives. There's a time that we're going to expire. And we don't want to think about it like that, but it's true. And so just like food has expiration dates and, relationships may have an expiration date, all kind of things have expiration date and we don't think about it. And that's why we don't cherish, what we have and who we have in our lives, because we take for granted that it's always going to be there. But to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. So let's not miss out on some great opportunities that's going to be presented to us in this season. Let's be ready, because if we're not, it's a huge possibility that you'll miss out. So think about really what you want. Pray about really what you want and ask God to make you ready. Because if you asked, you believed, you're going to receive it. And when you do, you can't be afraid. You can't be afraid. You got to be sure. You can't start, being, just nervous about it now. You got to walk boldly and courageously, because it wouldn't have been offered to you if you couldn't handle it. So be careful of how you make your decisions too. We tend to make excuses into good reasons, and that's not healthy, and it's not going to get you what you want. So when it's time to act on these opportunities and offerings, resist the urge to find an excuse to not move forward, because we are self sabotaging people. And out of our fear and nervousness, our fear of not being good enough, our fear of messing it up, our fear of whatever it is, we will decline an offer on the dumbest things, like, well, my child is still in school. Your child always gonna be, it is. We'll make up this crazy excuse why not to move forward on something, because it's fear. I see it all day, every day. People are afraid to move forward, and so they'll make this crazy excuse about, well, um, my parents are getting older or something crazy, and I need to be here. I don't want to move yet. And what if your parents live 20 more years and you missed out on the opportunity because, well, they're getting older? We all are. Duh. And you don't go and see them as is, and you live like one city over, you know? And so it's like, why would you not move? Um, but we'll find a reason when we're afraid, and we'll talk ourselves out of an opportunity. And so I just wanted to let you know that it's so vital in this season that we, check our fear at the door, because God is truly about to present us with things that we didn't even ask for in that way. We might have asked for something small, but you forgot that God is going to blow your mind. He's going to do exceedingly abundantly. And we're not ready for that sometimes, you know? And so it looks scary. But you got to know that God ain't going to take you that far to leave you. And if He's provided for you on one level, He's going to provide for you on another. So it's important right now that we don't let opportunities slip through our hands and let them go away because we were afraid. We didn't trust, not God, we didn't even trust ourselves, that we were good enough, that we could make it work. But we sabotaged, and we let things go, and we let things expire because we weren't ready. So that's my prayer for us in this season, is that we don't self-sabotage, and we don't allow these opportunities to expire, because they may not come back around again. And that's going to be more devastating than trying something and potentially failing or not, than not ever seeing, because we didn't choose the opportunity. We chose comfort. We chose what we were used to. We didn't want to step out of the boat, walk on water, knowing that God was not going to let us sink. Okay? So choose wisely in this season and know that you're ready. Okay? So I love you. I hope this blessed you. And it's late, so I probably won't come back again today. But I promise you, I am going to come back later. Bye.